feel when someone calls you black?
I wonder why some people feel bad when they are called black, eh? But for me, when somebody calls me black, I finally feel good because that identifies me as an African. So people should be proud of being Africans.
I love how this child is more wise than most people that I come across. This child is saying that he is not offended when people call him black. He is not offended by that. He is not offended when people say he's African. But yet so many people, especially those who grew up in Western world and Western mindset, feel offended when they're called black. And it's interesting that the people who feel the most offended are the people who are black and in America are the ones who have the most offense. You also have that offense where I did experience a lot of that offense when I was in England, where people would more claim their nationality than they would claim what we call race. So first, let's go over a couple of things. One, there is no such thing as race. Oftentimes I get many people who want to say that we were already here, we were indigenous to America, that, hey, black is not a race. We are the only group that is claiming black, and black is not a race. As if white people don't claim white as being a race. So this only, nah. Now, do Asians say we're yellow? No, you don't get that. Do the native indigenous Americans call themselves red? No, they don't get that either. But you can't say we're the only ones, because white people will claim that they're white in a heartbeat. But is there such a thing as race? No. The person is actually correct when they say that black is not a race, but neither is white. White is not a race either. Guess what? Black and white are colors, not races. Guess what else? Asian people who call themselves Asian, that's not a race. That's a landmass, a continent. Do you know that when I spent time in Moscow and Stalingrad and all these other Russian cities, that many of those people who live there are considered to be Asian, but they look like what people would call as white people? But they're Asian because they're on the Asian continent. And when it suits them, they will call themselves Asian. Do you know that people in India, the subcontinent, they are my color complexion and all the way down lighter, and they call themselves Asians or Indians or brown people. So those aren't races either. Those are continental names, names of continents, names of countries. So the black people that I would meet like in England who would say, well, I'm Jamaican or I'm Kenyan, you're not claiming a race. That is a nationality. It's the same way a person here in the United States can claim that they're American, which I think is a little bit of arrogance because these are the Americas over here. So a Canadian person can also claim that they're American since they're part of North America, but they choose to be Canadian. But everybody else, you're claiming tribes. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Tribal. We're indigenous to America. Tribal. There is no such thing as race. So you might want to let that go. Now, in order for us to function in the way that our world functions today, we do classify things and separate ourselves by things such as race and nationalities and so on and so forth. And I understand that right now with the current climate of the mentality of people, that it's a necessary evil. But it'll be a beautiful day when it doesn't become a necessary evil and it's just plain evil. You see, I'm a human. I'm human. All this is human. No matter how much melanin you have in your skin, you're human. And the more melanin you have does not make you better than anybody else, or the least amount of melanin that you have does not make you better than anybody else. We're all human. We all get emotionally hurt. We all get physically hurt. We all have a finite time that we're going to exist in this meat suit, this poverty suit that we live in right now. It's a finite time. But what is your consciousness? The energy of your consciousness, it has no race. It has no nationality. It has no color. It has none of those things. But race is just something we make up, something we've created to cause more separation. And when that glorious time happened, which I doubt if it'll happen on this matter plane of existence, when we stop separating ourselves and we actually find unity, maybe we can let go of some of these evils. And maybe just then, everybody can live based on the golden rule of treating everyone the exact same way that they desire to be treated themselves. If I treated everyone the way that I desire to be treated, which I do, then I don't deal with a person because they're black, white, yellow, brown, doesn't matter. I treat them based on the character of the person and how they treat me. And I treat them how I desire to be treated. I love them how I desire to be loved. If we all did that, then we would have no need for race, for nationality, or tribalism. And the world won't be perfect, but it'll be a hell of a lot better. I know many of you are afraid of a one world society, but I, for one, eagerly wish that we had a one world society so that we all can get rid of at least some of the things that ills us with this nationalism and tribalism. If we was one world society, what would we fight wars for? If we were a one world government, what would we fight wars for? A one world economic system, what would we fight wars for? And I know the religion in you is going to cause you to think Antichrist, Antichrist, Antichrist. But let's be real. The world will be a much better place. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.